Welcome to another special Majestic Mind Matters University Mandatory Mental Liberation Series message, produced by Baba Jalani Bamani Dembe and narrated by Queen Magical Melanin. Like, subscribe and share this message with all the people you care about. The impact on generational wealth by marrying outside of our melanin-rich culture. Generational wealth are among melanin-rich people is a crucial aspect of building a lasting legacy for future generations. This wealth is not just about financial assets, but also encompasses the cultural heritage, values, traditions, and knowledge passed down from the ancestors. However, when individuals from melanin-rich communities marry outside of our culture, it can have a significant impact on how generational wealth is managed and transferred. One way in which marrying outside of the culture can affect generational wealth is by diluting the cultural heritage and traditions within the family. Intermarriage can sometimes lead to a loss of connection to our ancestral roots, resulting in a disconnect from the customs, knowledge, and practices that have been passed down for generations. This loss of cultural identity can affect the sense of belonging and unity within the family, potentially impacting how wealth is managed and passed down through generations. Furthermore, marrying outside of the culture can also present challenges in navigating societal structures that may already be biased against melanin-rich individuals. In many societies, systemic racism and discrimination can create barriers to career advancement, access to resources, and the ability to build and pass down wealth effectively. When marrying outside of our culture, individuals may face additional hurdles in achieving financial success and securing a stable future for ourselves and our descendants. Different financial values and practices between cultures can also play a role in impacting generational wealth when marrying outside of our melanin-rich culture. For example, one culture may prioritize saving and investing for the future, while another may have a more relaxed approach to spending and managing money. These differences can lead to conflicts or challenges in creating a unified financial plan for the family, potentially affecting the ability to build and preserve wealth over time. Despite these potential challenges, marrying outside of our melanin-rich culture can also bring new perspectives, opportunities, and experiences that can enrich the family's wealth and legacy. By embracing diverse cultural influences and finding common ground on financial goals and values, couples can create a strong foundation for building generational wealth that is inclusive of their unique backgrounds and identities. In order to navigate the complexities of marrying outside of the culture and preserve generational wealth, it is important for individuals to communicate openly and honestly with our partners about our financial values, goals, and expectations. Establishing clear boundaries, setting joint financial priorities, and working together to create a shared vision for the future can help mitigate potential conflicts and ensure that generational wealth is preserved and passed down effectively. Additionally, seeking support from financial advisors, counselors, and community resources can provide guidance and strategies for managing wealth across cultural boundaries. By staying informed, proactive, and intentional in their financial planning, melanin-rich individuals who marry outside of their culture can overcome challenges and build a solid financial foundation that honors their heritage and empowers future melanin-rich generations to thrive. Here are 3 societal biases against melanin-rich individuals that manifest in various forms when we marry outside of our culture. Some ways in which these biases may be amplified include: 1. Discrimination and prejudice. Melanin-rich individuals who marry outside of our culture will face discrimination and prejudice from our own melanin-rich community or from the community of their spouse. This can lead to social isolation, exclusion, and difficulty in creating a supportive network. 2. Cultural clashes. Marrying outside of one's culture can lead to clashes in values, beliefs, and traditions. Melanin-rich individuals will face criticism or rejection from family members or melanin-rich community members who disapprove of the intercultural relationship. 3. Economic disadvantages. Melanin-rich individuals who marry outside of their culture may face economic disadvantages, such as lower access to financial resources, education, and job opportunities. This can hinder their ability to build generational wealth and provide for their families. The effects of these biases on generational wealth can be significant. When melanin-rich individuals face discrimination in the workplace or limited access to educational and economic opportunities due to an intercultural marriage, it will impact the ability to accumulate wealth and assets. This can lead to a lack of financial security for future generations and perpetuate cycles of poverty and inequality. Systemic racism plays a significant role in perpetuating financial inequality within families with melanin-rich members marrying partners from different cultural backgrounds. This is because systemic racism has historically been built into the economic systems and structures of society, leading to disparities in wealth, employment opportunities, access to education, and housing, among other things. When individuals from different cultural backgrounds marry, they will face discrimination and bias based on our race and ethnicity, which will in turn affect their ability to access resources and opportunities necessary for financial success. This can include lower wages, fewer job opportunities, higher levels of debt, and limited access to affordable housing and quality education. Moreover, systemic racism will also impact the intergenerational transfer of wealth within our melanin-rich families. For example, melanin-rich families are less likely to have generational wealth to pass down to our children due to historical barriers and discrimination that have prevented us from accumulating wealth over time. This can lead to financial insecurity and limited opportunities for melanin-rich family members and their partners to build and maintain wealth. Systemic racism plays a significant role in perpetuating financial inequality within families with melanin-rich members marrying partners from different cultural backgrounds. Addressing systemic racism and creating more equitable economic opportunities for our individuals is essential in order to reduce financial disparities and promote financial security and stability for our melanin-rich families. Here are 4 ways systemic racism can manifest in financial opportunities for families with melanin-rich members who marry partners from different cultural backgrounds in several ways. 1. Limited access to resources. Families with melanin-rich members may face discrimination and barriers when trying to access financial resources, such as loans, job opportunities, housing, and educational opportunities. This can impact the economic stability of the family and limit their ability to accumulate wealth. 2. Wage disparities. Melanin-rich individuals often face lower wages and less job opportunities compared to their white counterparts, which will make it challenging for interracial couples to achieve financial stability. This will result in lower household incomes and limited opportunities for economic advancement. 3. Discriminatory lending practices. Melanin-rich individuals may face discriminatory lending practices when applying for loans or mortgages, which can hinder their ability to purchase a home or start a business. This can limit the financial opportunities available to families with melanin-rich members who marry partners from different cultural backgrounds. 4. Lack of generational wealth. Systemic racism has historically prevented melanin-rich communities from accumulating generational wealth, which impacts the financial opportunities available to families with melanin-rich members who marry partners from different cultural backgrounds. Without access to inherited wealth or assets, these are melanin-rich families will face additional barriers to achieving financial stability. Overall, systemic racism can create financial disparities and limit opportunities for families with melanin-rich members who marry partners from different cultural backgrounds, making it difficult to achieve economic security and prosperity. Marrying outside of our melanin-rich culture can have a significant impact on generational wealth among our melanin-rich people. By recognizing and addressing the potential challenges, embracing our cultural influences, and working together to build a unified financial plan, melanin-rich couples will create a strong legacy that reflects our melanin backgrounds and values. With intentionality, communication, and a commitment to preserving our cultural heritage, individuals will avoid the complexities of intercultural marriage and ensure that their generational wealth endures for future generations. Systemic racism is a deeply ingrained issue in society that has plagued marginalized communities for centuries. It is a pervasive and insidious form of discrimination that permeates all aspects of life, from education and employment to housing and healthcare. Systemic racism is a result of historical oppression and colonization, where white supremacy has been upheld and perpetuated through institutions and systems that disadvantage people of color. One way to combat systemic racism is through cohesive relationships between melanin-rich couples. Melanin-rich couples, who are individuals with higher levels of melanin in their skin, have the power to challenge and dismantle systemic racism by leveraging their shared experiences and understanding of racial oppression. By coming together in solidarity and unity, these couples can counteract the harmful effects of systemic racism and work towards creating a more equitable and just society for all. First and foremost, cohesive relationships between melanin-rich couples offer a unique opportunity to create spaces of empowerment and support for each other. These couples can provide emotional and psychological support to one another as they navigate the challenges of living in a racially biased society. By forming strong bonds and relationships, melanin-rich couples can bolster each other's resilience and fortitude in the face of discrimination and injustice. Furthermore, melanin-rich couples can serve as powerful role models and advocates for racial equality and social justice. By publicly demonstrating their love and commitment to each other, melanin-rich couples can challenge stereotypes and misconceptions about melanin-rich couples' relationships. They can also use their platform to raise awareness about systemic racism and advocate for policies and practices that promote melanin-rich culture relationships. Additionally, cohesive relationships between melanin-rich couples can disrupt the cycle of intergenerational trauma and oppression. By creating loving and supportive melanin-rich families, our melanin-rich couples can instill in our children a strong sense of self-worth and pride in their melanin-rich identity. This will break the cycle of internalized racism and foster a sense of empowerment and agency in future generations. Moreover, our melanin-rich couples have the power to create networks of solidarity and collaboration with other marginalized communities. By building relationships with individuals and groups who share similar struggles and experiences, melanin-rich couples can amplify their voices and leverage their collective power to effect systemic change. Through coalition building and allyship, our melanin-rich couples can work together with other marginalized communities to challenge injustice and dismantle oppressive systems. In conclusion, cohesive relationships between melanin-rich couples have the potential to be a powerful force for change in the fight against systemic racism. By coming together in solidarity and unity, our melanin-rich couples can provide support and empowerment to each other, challenge stereotypes and misconceptions, disrupt intergenerational trauma, and build networks of solidarity and collaboration with other marginalized communities. Through their collective efforts and advocacy, melanin-rich couples can work towards creating a more equitable and just society for us. Defeating systemic racism requires a multifaceted approach that involves melanin-rich individuals, melanin-rich communities, and melanin-rich institutions coming together to address the root causes of racial discrimination and inequality. Melanin-rich couples have a unique role to play in this fight, and by harnessing our collective power and resilience, we can help pave the way towards a more inclusive and equitable society for future melanin-rich culture generations. This is Queen Magical Melanin. We hope you were able to gain some beneficial knowledge from this Majestic Mind Matters University Mandatory Mental Liberation Series message. The impact on generational wealth by marrying outside of our melanin-rich culture. Remember to honor the ancestors, seek knowledge of self, always be good to yourself, and have a fantastic life.